Hi, Wim Dijkgraaf here with a tutorial about project status or state. I think the best word is status, so let's use that word. First I will show you various screens in which you will find the word status, and then I start explaining what it is and why it's important to understand it because of the behavior of rhodium. When you just log in, you see this screen, which we call the dashboard with the various KPIs. And this dashboard is based on statuses. So the status here is the status from requested to quoted, and the status from quoted to ordered, the status from requested to ordered. And we calculate lead times over there. So it is actually the time between the event that a project got the status from request to quoted, etc., etc. The conversion rates here are also based on statuses. So the status can eventually be an order, which means that the customer wanted it, or the status can be cancelled, which means the customer didn't want it or didn't accept our quotation. And those are statuses as well, and we calculate the conversion rates from that. So I show this so that you understand that those statuses are also the engine behind having proper KPIs displayed on this screen. A separate tutorial will show you all the details about those KPIs. Another screen where you will find statuses is over here. So you see here status. By the way, you can drag and drop this over here and then it will all be grouped by status, which is not correct because this should be statuses. So this is a bug in the system. Here you see status defining, ordered, ordered, quoted, defining, etc. You can't set the statuses here, it's only a display. Then we have a board here, and on the board it becomes very obvious what the statuses are, because defining is status, requested, quoting, quoted, negotiating. From a previous tutorial I created the basic workflow project. We can click this card here, and then we see that we see here the status bar, and actually this is not just a display, but these are buttons. You can press them to set the state or the status of a project. Now let me open this project twice, or at least the app twice. So you see now those two. Let me go into Metal Heaven, the projects, and then display the board or the Kanban board. What I would like to show you now is that if I set the status from defining to requested, so defining state means you are working on it, setting things, etc. And actually this is the portal state. I will show that in a separate tutorial. But a portal user starts here and then sends the request for quotation by pressing this button. So when we do that, we will see here that that card went from defining to requested. Now the tutorial basic workflow is there. So now you see behavior of rhodium, that although it is a web-based application, it immediately reacts to changes in the system. So if two users are in the same project and things change, both will see the same changes happening. Also here. Which also means that you can drag and drop this card here to set the state of this project to quoting. So if we go here now, then now we see this changing to quoting. And this is the stage where you as a salesperson are working on the quotation and you don't want the user in the portal to see the prices, etc. Only when you say now it is quoted, then you want the prices to be displayed in the portal, and you see that the card went from quoting to quoted. Normally when you set it to quoted, you will also immediately set it to negotiating, because then you can measure the time necessary in the negotiation period, such that the KPIs will be displayed correctly. So now we are waiting for a response from the customer till the moment that he said, okay, I want to order this, or I want to cancel this. If we say ordered, or the customer does that in the portal, then we see it here as that the card went from negotiating to ordered. And we see now the tutorial basic workflow here. This board is also displayed in the portal, so the customer can follow where his order is in the whole pipeline. And you see that that pipeline goes to producing, produced, packaging, and when it's finished packaging, packaged, delivering or shipping, delivered, then he has it in his hands, and everything that is cancelled goes to this state here. And these state changes are possible to receive that, for example, from your ERP system, such that the customer can see that in his portal. You see that you can't press this state here, but you can put it back to negotiating. And now things are editable or becoming editable again. You see, you can change things here, you can change the material, etc. So as soon as it is ordered or cancelled, nothing can be changed anymore. At least the salesperson cannot change it, and of course the customer also not. What I mean, but yeah, okay. What else? Other things important to understand is that if you have an active integration between Rhodium and your ERP system, the state quoted is actually a state where this will be imported automatically into your ERP system, such that the quotation is also visible in your ERP system. That's optional, by the way, but at least when it is ordered, you want to have that process of importing it in ERP being triggered. So ordered is a really important status as well. That's all about status changes in Rhodium and what happens under the hood. In a separate tutorial, I will show you these status changes in the context of using a customer self-serve portal, where the customer also sees this status bar, but then in a compressed or simplified form. I hope to see you in another tutorial soon. Thank you for your interest, and till the next tutorial.